Sometimes I have restricting beliefs that put me in a box, like I don't vlog. So guess what I did today? I vlogged all of today. And in the midst of that, I talked about the reason why I don't have resolutions and why I pick one word. Because it doesn't limit me, it doesn't make me feel guilty, and I can never fail. That's the best part of it. That's about as cinematic as I can make it. Black coffee, folks. Keep it simple, nothing fancy. So usually in the morning I do a little devo. Today, you know, I read a verse. You do what you can. You do what you can. There's a reason this is a vlog, and it has to do with step one, and that's choosing your word. You really want to know the why behind your word. Yeah, I mean, like, you don't want to choose a word like chair unless that means unless that means something to you. Like maybe you had a Bible study or some pinnacle moment where a chair was a really big thing and it reminds you of your mother who did this one thing. I don't know you, but you want to pick something that's more meaningful, maybe like commitment or discipline or fearless. Maybe it's peace. Maybe that's something you want to manifest into your life. And so by choosing that word, you can start implementing that and seeing if the actions that you are performing are lining up with that. And we'll talk more about that in step number 2. But for now, we're gonna make breakfast before we head out to Cabo. We are all checked in, ready to go, waiting at the gate. But that's step 2, is check in with yourself. See what I did there? What I mean by that is, instead of picking the word and forgetting about it, you basically need to be checking in with yourself. And whether you want to check in every hour, on the hour, that's a little bit much for me. Every day, every week, or maybe it's once a month. You want to check in with yourself and ask yourself, is what I'm doing or is what I'm thinking right now in line with the word that I've chosen for the year? So for me, freedom. Right now I'm headed to Cabo. Yes, what I'm doing is lining up with my word. And you don't always have to be in line with your word. A lot of times it teaches you what the word doesn't mean, and oftentimes that's a lot more helpful than knowing what it means, because if you know what it doesn't mean, then you can define what it does mean for you. If that makes sense, great. If it doesn't, sorry. Okay, the other thing that's amazing about a word is, like, you can't really fail. So like with a New Year's resolution, you usually are like okay, if you don't go to the gym, you're like, oh man, I'm not pursuing my resolution, like I've already broken the habit. But with a word, it's like, yeah, that action, that thought, you know, wasn't really in line with freedom, but it's okay, what the heck? But it's still tangible because you can still check in with yourself. We just finished lunch and Mom went out to go get some candies from a man walking on the street. So we'll see what goodies she has when she comes back.
You just have like candy, like gummies and
chocolate almonds.
Getting something for lunch for the rest of the couple days.
I believe it's a child.
No, that's a child howling.
Definitely a child. Heavy cans on bottom.
I'm pulling a dad right now. I'm just videoing and letting y'all do the work. I'm gonna have to mute that. But I don't think he watches the videos, so it's okay.
here's what Dad does. When you get it completely, when you get everything in your hands, then you go, oh, let me get that water for you.
We're really embracing being in Cabo right now.
Alright, who has the cranberries?
Pass them over.
Cranberries infused with pomegranate. We have made it to the Cabo Surf Hotel. Pretty nice, I must say, pretty nice.
God, General Kenobi.
Don't put that on your YouTube channel. Where? Okay. Oh, that's on film. Don't worry, we got it. I got it. Yeah, I got that too.
Score! we finally made it to Cabo, and that means the last and final step is write it down. So this doesn't have to just be journaling. I journal a lot, but a lot of people, that's not something they want to do. They don't want to have a diary. When you do write something down or document it in some sort of way, then you're able to look back and see your progress. So 3 ways you can do this. There's probably a lot of other ways you can do it too, so get creative. But 3 ways that I think are kind of fun. Number 1, journal, because that's what I do, and I have really had a fun time rereading my memories and things like that. Number 2 is not that difficult. You just write it down in your phone. And this, I think a lot of people are intimidated by journals, but you don't have to be intimidated. All you have to do is literally open up your phone, write the day. You don't have to journal every day, but you can just write one little snippet. It's just one way to process it, and if you're not into that, you're not into that, and that's just fine. And the 3rd way is start a YouTube channel. Just kidding. You don't have to do that. But the 3rd way is write yourself letters. And this is sometimes easier for people because it's writing a letter to your future self and where you are now. And you can go in the future and look at these letters that you've written about where you were in the past.
Hit the notification bell so you get notified when I make new content. That's what you gotta do.
We're going out to surf, so